Hello everyone, welcome to another Kobe WoW video. Today I want to make something fun because tomorrow is the official announcement of Midnight. We're going to get the cinematic, we're going to get some in-game features. Basically, it's going to sell us the expansion. It's going to tell us everything that we're actually diving into. And so I thought, oh, I did the wrong thing. Bingo time. So I decided to make a bingo card of trying to see if I could predict everything that's going to be coming out within the Midnight expansion or stuff that I just want to see in general. Now I bet you're wondering, if you're seeing this video, I've seen someone do this before. Yes, Taliesin and Evitail did it, but I thought it'd be a great idea if I did as well. So that way I'm not plagiarizing. I will be linking down the original video in the description below. But in this video, this is going to be things that I think are going to be happening in Midnight or things that I want to happen. I'm going to make this very quick because it's very soon are we actually going to know what's going to happen at Midnight. Of course, we have player housing, xal'atath and all that, her feet. So anyways, let's get started. The first thing is, of course, the pre-order. I think that the day that it happens this Tuesday, which is going to be tomorrow, I think that we're going to be able to get the pre-order. I think they're going to do the stupid thing where if you spend the most amount of money, then you'll get 3 days early access to the expansion. I don't think that's a good thing. I think that's just bad for the game, because what if you play with a friend who can't afford the new expansion at $100 value, but they want to play with someone who does have that? So I think it kind of guts players, and I didn't think they were going to do it again. I thought they were just going to do it in the War Within and then not do it. But they did say they're going to do it again, so womp womp. We move on. The next thing, Chris Metzen. 100%, I'm pretty sure Chris Metzen is going to somehow be on the panel. He's going to be announcing something. We're going to hear something yapping about him. And as some of you guys know, I do a lot of stuff for Chris Metzen. That's why I get good drops in WoW, is because I do some behind the scenes stuff that I'm not so proud of that I get good drops for. So I have a lot of respect for Chris Metzen because he's the father of WoW in my eyes, and he's definitely going to be there. Now the next thing, xal'atath feet in 4K. I'm telling you right now, the amount of people who, and WoW, I bet the WoW devs know this. They know people die for xal'atath's feet. I don't care about feet. I think her transmog is cool. I'm not into feet, best believe. However, I know for a fact in the new cinematic, you're going to see her feet. And I'm honestly willing to put money down. You're going to see her feet in 4K. It's going to be the best quality image of xal'atath's feet that you've ever seen. They're going to have it. Now, the next thing, I think it'd be cool if they added the Ethereals as an allied race. They did a similar thing in Battle for Azeroth, where they added Void Elves. And I just like Void Elves. There were Void Elves, there was High Mountain Tauren, Lightforged Draenei. Was there anything else on the Horde side? I'm sure there were more. But basically, they allowed us to play as the allied races from the previous expansion and the new one. So I think in Midnight, they might give us access to Ethereals as a playable race. I think they're going to add a lot more customization to them. They're going to have some cool racials, probably like free transmog or other cool stuff. So I think they're going to add Ethereals. Next thing, new class. I think they might add Bard as a class. This is a 50-50. I think they will add a class. I put Bard on there because I want them to add a Bard class, but I don't want it to be a support spec. I do not want it to be like AUG, okay? They give them a melee spec, which is DPS. They give them a ranged spec, which is also DPS, and then they give them a healer. However, the thematics of it is they play as if they're a support spec, but they're not a support spec. Sure, you can give the DPS some things that buff up the group and buff up the raid, but it should not be anything like AUG. It's awful. Delete it from the game. They should never do it again. But I think it'd be cool if they added a Bard spec. They could allow them to wear an instrument as an offhand. They can allow them to have a bow and a sword, and their abilities can kind of synergize based off of that. I think I would assume they would be a leather wearing class, either leather or mail, but I think leather's the way to go. So the next thing, player housing updates. Of course, this is gonna be the first expansion with player housing, so I'm sure they're gonna make plenty of updates to that. I think they're probably gonna reveal some things that they haven't revealed yet about player housing and how it's actually gonna impact things such as quality of life, traveling, hearthstoning, all of those things. I think they're gonna go over a lot more player customizability during the Midnight event. Removal of add-ons. I actually think they're gonna go through with it, and I think they're gonna announce that Midnight's might be the final expansion with add-ons or something like that. Because add-ons I think are actually hurting the game, and I want to make a video on why younger people aren't wanting to play WoW. So like, how many 20-year-olds do you know who are playing WoW? There's not a whole lot of them. And I think the reason why is because it's just such a complicated game to begin with, which is good. I'm not saying make it simple, but what I am saying is if a game is so complex to begin with, and then you add another layer of add-ons on top of it that are outside of the base game, people don't want to do that. People are going to be deterred away. You already have to pay a subscription. You already have to buy the expansion. So it's already hard enough to get young people who play Fortnite all day to play WoW. I've had like, anyways, that's a topic for another video, but I think they're going to remove add-ons. And I think that this will be the expansion where they're slowly going to start pulling away from them. The next thing is lore-wise, I think Illyria is going to get corrupt. This is kind of obvious. I think xal'atath is going to get into her head, and I think she's going to become corrupt. I think she's going to be a boss fight, but I don't think that we're going to kill her. But I think she's going to be very wounded, where she's not going to really play a big major lore part. They're probably going to do what they similar to her, like what they did to Khadgar, where they play a really big component at the beginning of the expansion, and at the end of the first patch, they're pretty much nothing at that point. I have a feeling that that's what they're going to do. Another lore thing is Lor'themar. I don't think he's going to die. As some of you got, I'll put a picture up on the screen. As you can see, it looks like xal'atath is about to kill him or he's dying. I think he's going to get on his knees. Like it's going to be like, oh no, I can end you. But she's going to toy with him because it's a cool like cinematic. And I don't think he's actually going to die. Who knows? Maybe they will kill him off. I don't think they're going to kill him. There's barely been any Horde involvement in the War Within. He's not going to die. I highly doubt it. But yeah. Next thing, more Horde story. Building off of what I was just talking about, I think there's, of course, we're going to be in Silvermoon. Of course, we're going to be in Quel'Thalas. There's definitely going to be a lot more Horde story involvement, like 100%, like without a doubt. So everyone who's complaining that the War Within was Alliance themed, I understand what you're saying, but like also, it's a part of the story. Like we're at a point now where, yes, there is still Horde and Alliance, but not really. Not really, if that makes sense. I know there was a lot of Thrall involvement, and that's completely understandable, but there's gonna be Horde story in this expansion, so people can calm down. Of course, I think that they're gonna increase the max level to 90, and I think they've mentioned it, but I think there's gonna be a stat squish. I love the high numbers of people doing 15 million damage overall in a dungeon, but I think it's gonna be nerfed down massively. I think the last time they did it was Shadowlands, if I'm not mistaken. So I think they're gonna do another stat squish, and I mean, it makes sense. I understand high numbers crash people's computers. So next is the cool in-game skybox. I'll put in an image up on screen. I think it would be sick if they did like how they did in Legion, where they did the whole Greenfell skybox with the world where we were gonna go to Argus. I think that's so cool. And I think they're gonna do that with the Void. They've already been making ads and things about it, like on their promotional stuff. So I think that they're gonna do it in game. Next, because of the removal of add-ons, I think they're gonna make the game easier to play. I think they're gonna make mechanics easier to understand, easier to see, without having to have DBM screaming in your face or 10 different weak aura packs to defeat a raid boss. I think the game is just gonna be easier as a whole, fundamentally, where you know what to interrupt, you know what mechanics to do. They're just not, you just don't need weak auras for it. So I think they're gonna make mechanics easier. Profession updates. I think they should do a few. I like what they're doing with professions already. I just think that they need to change a few things just to make it. I have no reason to use professions. Everything that I need, I just post, boom, it's done. So like, it's almost like how it was before. And all I know is every season I need 2 pieces of gear. They both just have embellishments on them, and they both increase my healing by like 2%. Like that's really all professions are at the moment. I think they could do some more cool things, especially with player housing. I think they're going to incorporate a lot of profession things into it. It'd be a shame if they only tailored one profession. They could even add a profession, but I don't think they're going to do that for whatever reason, which is stupid. But yeah, profession updates. I think they're going to definitely announce some of those. No Sylvanas. There's been a lot of people who have been saying that Sylvanas might come to play in Midnight. I don't think she will, and I don't think they should. There's no reason. She's in the Maw. Leave her in the Maw. They ruined her in Shadowlands anyways. She's really cool, but I don't think that they're gonna bring her back. There's really no reason for it. So next, they're gonna announce the deletion of Og Evoker. They're gonna make it just like Demon Hunters. They just have 2 specs, and they're gonna delete Og from the game. It's a stupid spec. It's implemented stupidly. It's toxic. No one likes Aug Evokers, so they're gonna delete them from the game. I have beef against Aug Evokers. I'm down to help every player in the game unless you play Aug. If you play Aug, don't talk to me. The next thing that I think they're gonna add is a new PvP map, similar to how they did it in the War Within, with something, I forgot the name of it, but with the crystal and the railroad tracks and everything. I think they're gonna add a new PvP battleground, and I think it's gonna be similar to Winter Grasp in a way. I think they're gonna add an epic battleground, and they're gonna add just a normal battleground. I think with the epic battleground, one side's gonna play for the Void, and then one side is gonna play for the people who are against the Void, I guess. And I think that's gonna be really cool, similar to how like you have to break into the town hall or the big castle in Winter Grasp. The same thing, but on Quel'th the Lost with the Sunwell. I think that'd be a sick PvP battleground, and I doubt they'll do it, but I think this is kind of something that I want them to do. And then battleground, I think simple, it's just gonna be either Void theme or Blood Elf theme. The next thing I think they're gonna add, 4 new zones, 4 new Renown tracks. I think they're gonna continue with the way that they're doing Renown. I think if something's broke or if something's working, if something's not broke, don't fix it. Exactly, yeah, if it's not broken, don't fix it. They're gonna keep it 4 zones for leveling, 4 Renown tracks, and the max level for them are gonna be like 25 or 20 or something like that. They all come with mounts, they all come with transmogs. I don't think they're gonna change anything with the Renown tracks. Death of Erotar. I think he's gonna die this expansion. Genuinely, I think he's going to die. I don't think Turellian or Illyria is gonna die. I think that they're gonna kill their kid, because I think that that'd be such an interesting thing, because they could build this up, and then that's how Illyria becomes corrupted, because they're playing with her, they're killing and destroying everything that she wants. And I think that they're gonna kill Erotar. So I think that'd be a really cool lore plot point, especially since Erotar hasn't even had too much screen time to begin with. Who's really gonna be upset if they kind of, kill him off? I think he'll have a lot of lore implications in the beginning of the patch, and kind of maybe leading into the second patch, but I think very quickly they're gonna cut him off. But that's just my opinion. Next, Mythic Plus updates. I think that, and this also applies to Delves. I think they're gonna update Mythic Plus, and they're gonna update Delves. I think they're gonna change the way affix work a little bit. I think Mythic Plus is in a great place right now, but I think they're still gonna modify some things. I think they're gonna change the way that Delves work. I don't think they've really grasped how Delves are supposed to work yet, but I think they'll get there with this expansion, because keep in mind, this is the first expansion that they've had Delves, so I'll cut them some slack. Next, Great Vault updates. I think they're going to add some sort of way where the first few weeks, it's completely RNG, but I think it's gonna get to a point where with the Great Vault, that way people have control, a little bit more control over their RNG. They're gonna be able to choose, I want the slot to be a trinket. I want the slot to be pants. They're gonna add something where you can earn a token, or by overdoing your vault, let's say instead of doing 8 keys, you do 16 keys. Then for 2 of your slots, you can choose, I want a chest piece or I want a bracer. So it's more RNG controlled. You're not 100% going to guarantee get your BIS item like with the correct stats, but I think it'd be cool if they implemented something where you can choose what type of item you get, whether it's a weapon, trinket, or piece of gear. I think that would be very cool and interesting, and that doesn't even have to be added in until like Race World First is over or something like that. Next thing, Old Gods. I love Old Gods. I love N'Zoth. I love Yasharaj. I love Yogg-Saron, Cthulhu. All of these guys are so sick, and I think they're somehow going to make an appearance, because it's basically an expansion about xal'atath. And it's all about manipulating and psychological damage and all that. I think it's really cool. So I think Old Gods are definitely going to make an appearance. They're going to buff Mistweaver. They're going to buff it to where it does 50% more healing than all the other healers. That way I love Mistweaver, and I just want to be the best. So I think it'd be cool if they did that. And finally, last but not least, I think Midnight is going to be a 10 out of 10 expansion. I hate when people go into expansions, oh, Blizzard's gonna mess this up. Oh, they're gonna do bad. Learn to have fun. You play the game for fun. Why would you play a game that you don't enjoy or don't like? If you don't like it, I'm sorry to say it, don't play. I have high hopes for it. I think Blizzard did a phenomenal job with the War Within. I like Shadowlands. I liked BFA. I love every expansion. I just love playing World of Warcraft, and I'm so passionate for it. I've been playing this game since I was 4 years old. I'm now 20. I've been playing this game for 16 years. My dad missed my birth to play WoW. I think WoW is a great game, and I think it's be a 10 out of 10 expansion, and I have high hopes for it. and I think you should as well. Everything looks like it's gonna be great. So yeah, without further ado, here's my bingo card. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this style of video. I kind of wanted to make it quick, but not too quick. Of course, this was inspired by Taliesin and Evitel. I will be linking their video down in the description below, along with all my other stuff. Let me know your comments. What do you think do you think any of these are true? Do you think any of these are false? And, or anything that I didn't put on here. I appreciate you guys for being here. Feel free to subscribe if you're not already, and we'll see you guys in the next video. And tomorrow's gonna be a great day. Take care and peace.